Some encounters don't just haunt your memories. They follow you home. This Reddit story is one of them, and by the end, you'll understand why. I don't even know where to start this one. I just remembered this encounter the other night and I had to post it. It was a few years ago. I was working at a grocery store. I worked there with my friends Josh and his girlfriend Trinity. We would try to plan things on our days off together so we could hang out. I should have ignored the text. If I had, none of this would have happened. It was 2 days before my day off, and I remember waking up to the buzz of my phone vibrating against my nightstand. I squinted at the screen, still half asleep. Josh, you off Thursday? Me, yeah, why? Josh, don't make any plans. Me and Trinity have a surprise. That was it. No context, no details, just a cryptic message that immediately had me curious. I should have known better. Josh was always dragging me into weird shit. Urban exploring, sneaking into places we weren't supposed to be, testing out all those haunted legends people whispered about. Half the time, it was just abandoned buildings and graffiti-covered tunnels. Nothing ever really happened, but to be honest, I loved it all. But something about that message stuck with me. Maybe it was the way he worded it. A surprise, like it was something special. I texted back, asking what he was talking about, but all I got was, Josh, just trust me, pick you up at 7. I should have said no. I should have told him I had plans, even if it was a lie, because now, after what happened, I keep thinking, Josh didn't find that place. IT found us. I had decided to vlog the day for YouTube. We went to Sevierville, grabbed food, and then as the sun sank behind the mountains, we headed to the old house on Sulphur Springs Road. You might have heard of it. The one everyone says is cursed. The one with all the stories about people going missing. Apparently, it was a small makeshift hospital during the tuberculosis outbreak in 1954. I've heard about it for years, but I never actually thought any of the paranormal stuff was real. But it is. It's real. And now, I wish we'd never gone there. The house sits deep in the woods, way off the main road. It's huge, way bigger than I expected, like some kind of decaying mansion swallowed up by the forest. 3 stories, tall, dark, and rotting, with thick ivy creeping up the sides like the earth was trying to pull it back to hell. The windows were shattered, gaping like black mouths. The front porch sagged like it was on the verge of collapse, and the whole place smelled like damp wood, rust, and something rotting. Josh was the one who pushed the door open. It barely took any force. The hinges let out this awful screech, like the house itself was screaming. Inside, the air felt sinful. Thick, heavy. It was cold, but not in a normal way. More like the cold was inside you. There was furniture left behind, but it was unnatural. A rocking chair in the corner, rocking on its own. Just like in the movies. Clearly, the gust of wind from the door opening was the cause, but that didn't make it any less creepy. A long dining table with plates still sitting there, covered in dust, like whoever lived here left in the middle of a meal and never came back. But the worst part? The portraits. Lining the hallway were these old, cracked paintings, portraits of people whose eyes followed you no matter where you stood. Their faces were faded, but I could still make them out. One of them was a woman in a white dress. We didn't stay long. Trinity was freaked out from the second we walked in. "We shouldn't be here," she kept saying, rubbing her arms like she was freezing. Even Josh wasn't cracking jokes anymore. So we left. But as soon as we stepped outside, I felt it. That pressure that grows on the back of your neck. The one everyone knows but tries to ignore, like we were being watched. I turned back to scan the house one more time, and that's when I saw her. She was standing in the upstairs window looking down at us. She was wearing a white Victorian-style dress yellowed with age. The lace was ripped, the fabric hanging off her like it had once been elegant. but now it was something tattered. Her hair was long, gray, tangled. It framed her face in limp strands. Her skin pale, almost cracked. Her lips were bleeding and split open. At first, I thought they had been stitched shut, and the bleeding was from the threads being ripped out. But then she smiled, and I saw her teeth. Too many of them. Rows of them. Her mouth stretched wider than it should have, like her jaw could unhinge, like she could swallow something whole. I grabbed Josh's arm, my chest tight with panic. "Do you see her?" Trinity was the first to react. She screamed, grabbing onto Josh like she was about to collapse. Her nails dug into his arm, and that's when the woman moved. She tilted her head, her smile growing, and then she raised a hand. She waved at us. She freaking waved. But it wasn't a normal wave. It was slow, unnatural, like her bones barely worked, like she was inviting us back inside. She almost floated away from the window then in the direction of the stairs leading down to the front door. That's when we ran. We tore through the trees, branches slapping at our faces, our feet stumbling over roots. I could feel her watching us, like her eyes were digging into my back. Then Trinity fell. Josh and I stopped and turned around to help her up, and we looked back up towards the house to see if the woman was following us. The house was gone. The clearing was still there. The trees still bent like something used to be there. But the house itself? It just wasn't. Then, Josh's car alarm went off. All the doors were open. We didn't even shut the doors. We just jumped in and floored it, tires skidding against the dirt. Josh didn't stop driving until we were miles away. Trinity wouldn't stop crying. I wouldn't stop shaking. Josh and Trinity won't talk about it. Did we all have a shared hallucination? Maybe some sort of delusional moment, some sort of echo from the past, from all the despair from the house? I know what we saw. I know the terror we felt. But the worst part? When I got home, when I finally made it to my room, I saw something. A piece of fabric. A shred of white lace. Sitting in the middle of my floor. I don't know how, but I think she followed me home.